it's nice to have you in our office in Hong Kong. And could you give us your full name and title?
I am Alexis Blondel. I'm the assistant winemaker for the Fleur de Miraval project, assisting Rodolphe Peters, the amazing gentleman in Champagne behind this project. And I'm also the voice of the three families behind this project, which is the owner of Miraval, the Perrin family, which I know for many, many years and I admire as well, and Rodolphe Peters.
And so you're making the wine in the famous town in Blanc de Blanc of Ménil.
Yes, exactly.
Which is amazing Chardonnay.
Estate is situated right in front of the church, like literally. Our neighbor, our salon, 50 meters away, and 150 meters away, there's a Crus Clos de Ménil. So we are we are in the kingdom of the Blanc de Blanc, in the grain of the Blanc de Blanc.
Yeah, so we had a conversation and we were talking about this special rosé, and it's quite expensive, but I thought that actually this vintage is fantastic. And I thought it was significant that you said, you know what, it's not expensive because it's Brad Pitt. It's actually very special how the wine's made. And that was fascinating to me. And I think most people don't understand what this unique blend is all about. Could you explain that, please?
Of course, yeah. It is true, like if you don't try before, you think like, oh, it's only expensive because of one of the owner, and to me it's not. And we just created something so special, it's unique, one of the kind. In English I call it the UFO, it's never been done before, it's never been seen before. And the only goal and purpose was to create the best rosé champagne ever. So for that they had to define what was the best champagne rosé ever, and it comes in the bottle of Fleur de Miraval. But the process of it and the way it's made, it's so unique, then that's why it comes with a price. We recreated an estate from scratch. We recreated a perpetual reserve, with our concretes and the steel and oak from the vintages back to 07.
And you're using also in the blend old champagne from bottle.
Exactly, the most
really
unique
fantastic
thing in Fleur de Miraval, which is like it's a blend of old Chardonnay from different sources and the fresh part of rosé from La Côte des Blancs. And the unique thing, we're opening actual bottle of champagne on the corks with bubbles. We're opening them, and instead of drinking those beautiful champagne, which are really, really drinkable, trust me, we actually put it back to the tank, removing the bubble, and put it back to the blend. Because those old bottle of Blanc de Blanc brings very specific aromas and texture that we really want and we really like. It's like spices, and with the old, what I mentioned earlier, the noble reduction of old Blanc de Blanc when it comes to the toastiness and caramelized almond and toasted bread, all those flavors that we want in our champagne, because we love old Blanc de Blanc so much. Then we actually do the effort and the challenge to opening all bottles and put it back to a blend. It's something so unique that has never been done to this quality and to this quantity ever done before.
One thing that I'm really fascinated by is how right now we're tasting the wine at about, 18 centigrade, 19. So it's being served almost like it wasn't intentional, like it started off.
Yeah, no, it's
but I really
way than Hong Kong.
Yeah, no, but I was saying I really like that because it actually shows how the champagne changes, and it's starting to take on this really subtle red wine character. And you're getting earth and like dried fruits. And I was thinking this wine's so subtle and complex. If you serve it too cold, you could miss that. I think honestly the other two vintages we had over the years when they were released were served much colder, like you would serve champagne. And now when I'm tasting them, there's so much more to them than just being champagne.
This is the tricky part about the temperature with Fleur de Miraval. So each edition is different, ER Exclusivement Rosé 1, 2, 3 edition 1, 2, 3 release, because we're changing vintages from the remise en cercle, and the saignée part as well is different. But to me, as a somm, originally, there's no one temperature for champagne. There's so many temperatures, and it's true. Like if you serve a non-dosage of fresh Blanc de Blanc, you don't want to go too warm. But if you serve as well, like to me, the oldest those Chardonnay Blanc de Blanc age, the older the wine gets, you need to serve it warmer. As you said, you got all those texture, and Fleur de Miraval, because there's fresh rosé and all Chardonnay, needs to remain in this, balance of not too chilled, but not too warm as well, because you want to keep the fresh part of rosé.
How do you think that that a Rudolph is able to make the blend work? Because you have a really fresh rosé, it's 25%, but then you're using 25% old wines. And how does it, I think in this wine in particular, the ER3 more than the first two, this is really exceptional. It really is just incredible blend. It's you just tasting it, and honestly, I'm not spitting anymore. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I haven't noticed.
Yeah, here, cheers.
All right, I'm not spitting this one either. But that's the thing. It's so I like this just touch of, especially 2018, bring this very kind of to me subtle flower, but this wild strawberry kind of touch.
Totally.
But then you really get this patisserie frangipane, as we call it in France, and the texture is absolutely stunning. It's such a, and the robe, you can see it's like golden robe with roses. It's unique. I'm really in love with all the two editions because they show very different characters, and to me they are really great partners to do wine pairings. And it's funny because the more I open, at first I was like, this is so elegant, this is a little bit more feminine, and year two was more, sharper and more chalky and a little bit more masculine. But it's actually a gender fluid champagne, I would say, because some people really prefer the year three, and sometimes the ladies say, no, I like the zestiness out of year two. So it doesn't leave people blank. You always get like, oh, this is my favorite, and once you explain Fleur de Miraval, people get really excited about it, and because they understand how is it made. Oh my god, yes, I never tried something like this. Fresh pot of rosé de saignée, old chardonnays from a remise en cercle and from a perpetual reserve, non-refreshed. That's why I joined the project as well. I was like, okay, you're gonna work for 3 amazing families, and you're gonna learn how to make wine with one of the most iconic Blanc de Blanc producer. You're gonna learn how to make rosé with one of the most iconic Blanc de Blanc producer. Even in the sentence, it sounds crazy, but this is what it is. It's quite
I think you did.
It's quite a crazy project,
and it's awesome wine.
Yeah, and they're pushing the boundary. They don't doing this as I mentioned, marketing or anything. They don't need this. They don't need Fleur de Miraval to be successful. They're already successful, but it's more they're pushing these things, and the way of rethinking rosé and the saignée and how to blend the blanc de blanc and the remise en cercle and all of those. I think it's quite amazing.